Hey guys, this whole anti-Semitism is getting out of hand, like really quick. You had a group of woke little Gen Zers yesterday in New York trying to cancel Christmas because oh my God, the people in Gaza, the people in Palestine are suffering. Well, maybe if they would turn over Hamas, or Hamas would stop blending in with the innocent Palestinians, maybe none of this would be happening. It's like getting out of hand. How about you little woke idiots go back to where you came from, crack open a textbook, and actually learn something?
Anti-Israel protesters turning violent, wreaking havoc on Christmas Day here in New York City, clashing with the NYPD, who reportedly moved to a level 3 threat alert, the second highest from the department. Emily Austin is a journalist and pro-Israel activist. She joins us now. Emily, thanks for coming in this morning. Listen, I'm doing my research not only on this topic, but on you, and this is very personal to you. You're an Israeli-American citizen. You have a career in sports broadcasting, but what happened on October 7th has really brought this to the forefront of what you're reporting on now. I saw that you've interviewed folks that were released from Hamas and the families of those before they were released, and you went to Israel and you saw this firsthand. Obviously, it's personal. When you see protests like this out on the street, what do you make of it? Do you think these people are ignorant or hateful or evil? What is their motivation?
I, of course, think that they're hateful because I don't know if the world remembers October 7th, before Israel even had a chance to retaliate. So as far as the world knows, Israel was slaughtered in their own homes, innocent civilians, and kidnapped. October 8th, they were already marching on the streets, chanting Antifada, chanting for violent incitement of violence. So the world thinks that this is some freedom movement, but they don't understand it's like a mask to just cover Jew hatred and to justify violence against Jewish people.
What do you think the attraction is to young Americans who maybe aren't that political but are jumping onto this? We see the street interviews all the time where people go up to college kids and ask them about this, and they get the facts wrong. They think and they believe that Israel is oppressive over talking points that are actually what Hamas does to Palestinians. Why is it that young Americans are so easily influenced to be anti-Israel or even pro-Hamas?
Quite frankly, it's attention seeking. There's no rational explanation behind it because most college students and most Gen Zers have no idea what's happening in the Middle East. However, if they build this common denominator of victimhood and they all gather and unite, they feel empowered. They feel empowered by grasping this victim mentality, and then they go and they march the streets. Today it's against Israel, tomorrow it's Black Lives Matter, the next day it's another movement doesn't need to go and incite riots in the streets. But this is how they receive their attention. Who knows, maybe they just lack attention growing up, and this is how they compensate.
It's hard to believe in the age of social media anyone is lacking for attention. It's one thing to say it online, it's another thing to do what we're showing up at Defense Secretary Austin's home, showing up in the...
Gaza will be free when Hamas is gone. Your little paper signs, Gaza will be free. Well, as soon as Hamas is dead in the ground, then Gaza will be free. Or until the Palestinians get off their ass and help the IDF get rid of Hamas, then they will be free. Until then, you little woke idiots out there with your little signs, shut your fucking mouths and do something to help the Palestinians be free. Until the Palestinians are free from Hamas, y'all just need to sit down and shut up.
The streets here in the middle of Christmas here in New York City to just try and disrupt and now become violent for people's Christmas celebrations. But if you're an Israeli American citizen or you're Jewish and you're in this country, do you feel safe at all?
It's tough. It's definitely not easy to walk the streets without, having eyes behind your head. But this delinquency will go on so long as the authorities tolerate it. So the police amping up good. Go ahead and amp up, because this is going to continue so long as it's tolerated. So it needs to, we need to put the nail in its coffin. People feel too comfortable inciting this violence on the streets of New York without facing heavy consequences, and that's why it's going to continue.
Yeah, the fear is when we have something like Christmas or we have a New Year's Eve celebration coming up in the city, what is the police doing to make sure something like this doesn't happen? For those that could be targeted, which I guess at this point are any of us that aren't celebrating terrorists, let's hope that the police and our government are at least doing something.
I hope so. I hope that this is a lesson for all the defund the policers out there, that it's not going to work that way.
Emily Allison, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Steve Goosey. I'm Brian Kiley.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
Yeah, all this, guys, is getting really out of hand really quick. And what's bad is the people behind it. It's a bunch of different fucking groups. As the Israel-Hamas war rages in Gaza, there's a bitter battle for public opinion, flaring in the United States with angry rallies on many college campuses and disruptive protests at prominent venues in several major cities. Among the catalysts are Palestinian and Jewish-led groups that have been active for years in opposing Israeli policies towards the Palestinians, and who now demand a ceasefire in Gaza. There will be a ceasefire when Hamas is gone. Benjamin Netanyahu declared yesterday, we will have a ceasefire when Hamas is destroyed. The groups have roots in a movement known as BDS, which calls for the boycott, divestment, and sanction of Israel. And that's not ever going to happen here in the United States. That's not going to happen, because we back Israel. And you have these little woke idiots. Oh, it's genocide. It's genocide. You wouldn't know what fucking genocide was if it slapped you in the face. The groups have, the campaign generated heated rhetoric long before Hamas militants attacked Israel on October 7th, and Israel launched its counteroffensive. Advocates wrote op-eds for campus newspapers with appeals to protect Palestinian human rights, often accusing Israel of colonization of racism. It's Israel's land. As soon as you woke little fucks get it through your brain, Palestinians have no right to that land. It's all Israel's land. Palestinians are not a real race. They are a hodgepodge of Turks and Arabs. Now, groups involved in those earlier efforts are playing a key role in protesting the latest fighting, with actions on campuses and beyond. Protests have led to disruptions on Capitol Hill, at a major train station in Chicago and New York City's Grand Central Station. They also helped organize a demonstration Wednesday night outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters in Washington, which led to clashes between police and protesters. And you know what? Anybody who was in that demonstration outside the DNC headquarters, you all should have went to fucking jail that night. Not just a few, not just 8, all of you. So maybe you would get a dose of reality, because this whole pro-Hamas bullshit that you guys are spewing on American soil, y'all need to be locked up. Y'all need to have a reality check. You want to help Palestine? You want to protest for Palestine? I say, go the fuck over there, stand on their soil, and watch what fucking happens to you. They don't give a damn about what happens to you over there. They want you to freaking protest and all this other stuff because you are enabling fucking murder. You are enabling Hamas to murder innocent people. Jewish Voice for Peace, founded in 1996, describes itself as the largest progressive Jewish anti-Zionist organization in the world. We are organizing a grassroots, multiracial, cross-class, integrational movement of U.S. Jews in solidarity with the Palestinian freedom struggle. Guided by a vision of justice, equality, and dignity for the people, the group says on its website. It claims more than 300,000 supporters, has 1 million followers on X, formerly known as Twitter, and maintains chapters on many U.S. college campuses. Get rid of them. Get them the fuck out of the college campuses. Its Columbia University chapter was suspended Friday for allegedly violating university policies on holding campus events. Yeah, because y'all aren't protesting for peace, y'all are protesting for fucking genocide of the Jews. My great-grandmother was a German Jew. She saw what happened in the Holocaust. She saw what Adolf Hitler did to the Jews. What happened on October 7th is another form of the fucking Holocaust. After the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, Chicago-based Rabbi Brant Rawson, co-founder of JBP's Rabbinical Council, said he grieved for fellow Jews who were killed yet maintained solidarity with Palestinians. The Anti-Defamation League, another left-wing radical fucking, a Jewish advocacy group that frequently speaks out against anti-Semitism and extremism, assails JBP as a radical anti-Israel and anti-Zionist activist group that advocates for the boycott of Israel and eradication of Zionism. In its 2021 federal tax return, JVP reported a revenue of nearly $2.9 million. It says the vast bulk of its income is from individual contributions. There's another group, If Not Now. If Not Now was founded during the 2014 Israel-Hamas war, when more than 2,000 Palestinians were killed as Israeli forces launched airstrikes and a ground invasion in response to rocket attacks from Gaza into Israel. Hamas. Young Jews angered by the overwhelmingly hawkish response of American Jewish institutions came together under one banner of If Not Now. The group says on its website its stated goal organizing our community to end U.S. support for Israel apartheid system and demand equality, justice, and thriving future for all Palestinians. Y'all don't know nothing about apartheid. Israel is not an apartheid state. This is directed at you, Rashida Tlaib. Is not an apartheid state. Some of the things you've been spewing goes against Congress rules. Maybe you need to be ousted from office. Vote her out. In the early days of the current Israel-Hamas war, If Not Now condemned the killings of civilians on both sides, while reiterating its criticisms of Israeli policy. We cannot and will not say today's actions by Palestinian militants are unprovoked. The group said on October 7th, the strangling siege on Gaza is a provocation, settlers terrorizing entire Palestinian villages, soldiers raiding and demolishing Palestinian homes. These are the provocations of the most extreme right-wing government in Israel's history. Eva Brogwart, Ibnatnow's political director, said that the groups organized prayer services in some cities for Jews who wanted to mourn both Jews and Palestinians killed in the conflict. The Anti-Defamation League has accused Ibnatnow of extreme criticism of the Israeli government and divisive rhetoric, some of which may be offensive to members of the mainstream Jewish community. Students for Justice in Palestine has been on U.S. campuses for decades, with frequent protests urging the liberation of Palestinians and boycotts against Israel. Get them out. Get them off the college campuses. Republican Congress, if you're hearing me, get these groups off the college campuses. That will alleviate some of the anti-Semitism going on. The loosely connected network known as SJP says it has more than 200 chapters across the U.S. and Canada. It's on its website. It says, it's our mission to empower, unify, and support students organizers as they push forward demands for Palestinian liberation and self-determination on their campuses. Last month, it joined calls for a national student walkout on college campuses. The Anti-Defamation League accuses it of anti-Israel propaganda laced with inflammatory and at times combative rhetoric. Of all the colleges that these groups are in, defund those colleges. Pull the federal funding until those groups are disbanded on the campuses. Increasingly, SJP has run afoul of college administrators, including at George Washington University, Arizona State University, Brandeis University. Brandeis president Ron Leibowitz said last week that the secular college founded by the American Jewish community in 1948 no longer recognized SJP's chapter because of its support for Hamas and call for the violent elimination of Israel and the Jewish people. Several students were arrested during the ensuing riots leading to the walkout on Monday. Good. Keep their asses in jail. Give them a wake-up call. In a statement after Hamas attacked Israel, SJP said it was a moral imperative to support the resilience of the Palestinian people who have endured 75 years of oppression, displacement, and denial of their basic rights, and said that includes armed resistance. Displacement from what? It's not their fucking land. It's been stated in the history books, and it goes back thousands of years. That country belongs to Israel. It belongs to the Jews. It doesn't belong to the Palestinians. The Canaanites abandoned the land. And when the Jews came in, they saw the land was abandoned because the Canaanites moved everything off the land so they could go fight some war in another land, come back 100 years later. What are you doing on our land? Yeah, this is our land, you guys abandoned it. Well, we want our land back. Well, you can't have it back because it's not yours. It was ordained to the Jews by God. The Brandeis move came after California Governor Ron DeSantis' administration ordered state universities to ban the group, saying it illegally backs Hamas militants who attacked Israel. The efforts is stalled amid legal wrangling. Paul Moore, a former U.S. Department of Education official from the Trump administration, wrote an op-ed this week calling on all colleges to ban the group. Meanwhile, attorney generals from 20 states wrote a letter this month mentioning SJP and calling on federal officials to investigate and remove foreign students who have espoused terrorist activity. Get them out. You want to espouse that here in the United States? Pack your bags, get your shit, and go back to your own fucking country. Meanwhile, attorneys, I already read that part. Multiple offshoots are also involved in protests. American Muslims for Palestine, which has coordinated protest activities over the years, with, if not now, organized a die-in over the weekend in downtown Toledo, Ohio. Last month, the Virginia Attorney General's office announced an investigation into the group allegations it used funds raised from impressionable purposes under the state law, including benefiting or providing support for terrorist organizations. Get them out of the country. You want to come here and learn from our colleges? Then by God, you will not be espousing terrorist rhetoric or beliefs in our colleges. You want to do that? Go back to your own land, go back to your own fucking college and do that. Queens College in Brooklyn is investigating the Muslim Student Association over some of its social media posts. Good job. At Brown University this month, 20 students with the group Brown U, Jews for a Ceasefire, now was arrested after refusing to leave campus building during a sit-in. The group posted on X that they were calling on the university to promote an immediate ceasefire and a lasting peace. You want an immediate ceasefire? Then Hamas needs to either die or go away, as well as the divestment of its endowment for companies that enable war crimes in Gaza. What war crimes? The IDF is trying to get rid of a terrorist group in Gaza. It's not my fault, and it's not your fault that the Palestinians are hiding the Hamas members. And the Hamas members are blending in with the innocent Palestinians. That's why so many Palestinians are getting killed, because Hamas are chickens. They're pieces of crap. They got a yellow stripe going down their fucking back. Fucking cowards. Even groups like UNICEF and Amnesty International have faced scrutiny in Scottsdale, Arizona. A presentation by a high school student group about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza promoted a state public education chief, Tom Horn, to urge schools to kick the two international groups off campus. Why? They're humanitarian groups. UNICEF and Amnesty International are humanitarian. You want humanitarian aid for Gaza, for the Palestinians, that's the group to go to. That's the groups that normally do that stuff. And you want to kick them off your campus? Are you fucking stupid? How about this? How about you lay off that freaking crack pipe given to you by your Democratic handlers? California Governor Gavin Newsom demanded in a letter this month that university leaders do more to protect students, and the Louis D. Brandeis Center for Human Rights Under Law, a Jewish legal rights advocacy group, filed federal complaints alleging the University of Pennsylvania and Wesley College failed to keep Jewish students safe. Good job. Claudine Gay, Claudine Gay at Harvard, she needs to go. And I'm glad the UPenn president resigned. Hollingsworth reported from Mission, Kansas. Crary reported from New York. Anita Snow contributed from Phoenix, and Colin Blinkley from Washington, D.C. This is all, guys, this is all getting out of fucking hand. Why can't people use their damn brains when it comes to shit like this? I'll be posting more on this later. So please like and subscribe to my channel. And while you're here, leave a comment in the comment section and smash that like button. Y'all have a good day. Peace out.